welcome back to another video. My name is JGK, and today I'm playing Slime Rancher again. I have been spending quite a bit of time making this video, so I really hope you enjoy it. I grinded all the way up to $1 million in the game, and then I spent all of it. And I will definitely go into detail about why I did that. And I might have to do it again in the future, but I guess we'll see where this ends up, because I have another video that will come out after this, which will have a lot more context by the end of this video. So I'm just going to keep it short and simple. Please like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So you might be wondering, why would I want to grind $1 million in Slime Rancher 2? Well, that's a very easy question for me to answer, because I'm crazy and I have to design everything I possibly can in any game that lets me design. For example, Minecraft is one of the most creative sandboxes possible, and I could spend countless days just building crazy stuff. And now that Slime Rancher has a lot more customization, the potential is crazy. It's almost a gold mine. There's a few minor kinks to it, but for the most part, the design, or I guess the freedom that you have to design your farm, is so good. This game is just so good, period. It's the best aesthetically pleasing games that I've ever played. It's just relaxing, it's fun, there's always something to do. At least for me, I love designing stuff. And the biggest problem I run into is my money. And I got sick and tired of trying to craft all these things I want to make. So like you can craft all your bushes, the trees and stuff, but it takes plorts and world resources you gotta grind out and find. And it takes quite a while to grind out resources to build with. So I figured that I would just grind $1 million and then go to the Cuckoo Mart, and every day the Cuckoo Mart resets what it has in its selection. You can then just buy whatever decorations, toys, or whatever they're selling for that day, and then they're out, and then the next day it comes back. So that creates kind of a problem money-wise, obviously, because some of the items can be up to $10,000. There might be some more expensive ones. I don't really remember. I'm kind of brain dead from this right now. It took me so long to grind it, but I'm so happy I did. Anyway, just so you can see a little sneak peek of what I've been building at. You'll actually see it as the video plays, but right now I'll compare what the farm usually looks like when you're starting, and I will show just how much I've built just in the first area, and it's not even close to being done. I'm just waiting until I have all these building resources. So, first things first, I gotta clean up my original farm area so I can swap it out with some better slimes, and I'm definitely doing this in a very ethically way. They're definitely not being held against their will on the top of the ropes up there, but they want to be there, so just trust me. Anyway, I'm just gonna try and save all the slimes I have now, because I'm just gonna bring them all back after I'm done grinding all this money. I just wanted to bring in some better slimes that are worth a bit more. Now, you could absolutely do this way faster than I did. I didn't even choose the best slimes. Don't ask me why. I just kind of went with what I had, but you can definitely do this a lot faster, especially if you use teleporters. All the better slimes, you can definitely make this a lot more efficient. I ended up going with Saber slimes and the new twin slimes to make, obviously, the Largo slimes, and it worked pretty well. But you could definitely have like the Sloomber slimes or the Tangles or even the Dervish slimes. They would all probably give you more money in the return, especially over Saber slimes. They're not the most expensive. The most I could get them was like just under $70, but like I said, doesn't matter. I did it anyway. So I changed all my crops in the middle of the first area to the new apples, or I guess the cherries, I guess. After I got everybody moved out, I started moving in the Saber slimes and just transferring them over to Twin Largos. So obviously I'm gonna have to start feeding them pretty quick. There was a couple times where they got out pretty quick and started turning a tar. I actually had a few days while I was grinding this where I just came out of the house after waking up and there was just tar everywhere, because I was skipping a lot of days not feeding everybody and they were jumping everywhere. It got a little chaotic, but I saved it a few times. Anyway, this whole process that I'm doing is basically I'm putting the slimes in the corrals, just getting them all fed up, and then I bought one silo in one of the corners where I was going to put a farm, but I figured the silo was a bit better for the strategy I'm about to explain. Basically, if you've never played Slime Rancher, there is a market that is live. It is kind of reactive to what you're selling. So let's say you have a bunch of honey slimes and the price of honey plorts is $50 and you sell 5,000 plorts. The next day, that price is probably going to crash down all the way, I don't know, down to 10 maybe. That's just because it's just a reactive market. You flood the market with plorts, it's going to go down for a while. So then after a few days, probably a bit longer than that, the prices will start jumping back up. And obviously you want to wait till it's as high as possible to sell. So that's where the silo comes in. The silo, I was just storing all the extra saber and twin plorts in there until either of those plorts had a good day. And you can kind of manipulate it. Well, yeah, you definitely can manipulate it. It's just, it'll go up for, let's say the saber plorts usually get stuck at 40 value. If you keep sleeping over and over again, you can force that up a little bit because you're not selling any of them. That'll just drive the price up. Now, occasionally it'll have like a little fake out where you'll see the double arrows pointing down, which just means that the price is about to go down the next day. And that will happen even if you're not selling any of them. But usually, at least in my experience, it seemed like it was just kind of a fake out and it would just turn right back around if you didn't sell anything and just keep going higher. But you also got to be careful because I was trying to push the twin plorts up to the highest price possible. The highest I ever saw them was like 91 maybe. And I was trying to go to bed and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll push it up to 100. And then I went to bed and woke up and it was back down to 70. So just kind of depends on how much you want to push your luck. There's really no way to tell when the price is going to reverse. You used to be able to tell that in Slime Rancher 1 because there would be like a horizontal bar that would just represent that the price is getting ready to flip the other direction. But in this Slime Rancher, there is a horizontal bar, but it doesn't seem to be as accurate because I still have many days where the arrow was pointing up, which usually would have meant the next day it was going up. But then when you wake up and come back to the board, you can see that the price is already going down. So there really was no warning. So just be careful about that if you try to replicate this. It's not like it's the end of the world and you're trying to get a lot of money and you have a ton of plorts. So you're just going to have to grind it out. Even if you're trying to push every dollar to the max, it will help in the long run, especially if you're getting a lot of money. But like I said, you're not leaving too much on the table. It just depends. Just try not to sell as low price as possible. That's why I had the silo so I could store up and as many plorts as I could. Just have those big days where you're selling. It's really a simple strategy. It just takes a while. You just feed everybody and then I would just keep skipping days after I fed everybody. Just skip a day, then take the plorts, put them in the silo. Once the silo was full and my inventory was full, I gave up on feeding everybody and I would just keep sleeping over and over and over and checking the board and then going right back to bed, then checking the board and go right back to bed. You'll actually see a big jump to day 300 and I've got quite a bit of money already and it's just, I couldn't record all of it. Well, I actually did record quite a bit of it. It's just hours and hours of me going back and forth from the house to the slimes to the market and doing it all over again. There's not much I could have recorded content-wise for it, so this part of grinding $1 million is really self-explanatory, I feel like, so I'm just kind of grinding through it at this point and going through the motions, just listening to my music, feeding the slimes, feeding the silo, feeding the market, just doing it all over again. But I did really enjoy it. It's really fun. Maybe in the future they'll add drones again, just like Slime Rancher 1, so you can get a lot of money. If you don't know what the drones were, they were literally just exactly what they sound like. They were just drones that did stuff for you. So they could sell, they could feed, they could do basically anything that you can do on the farm and just do it for you. And you can have some crazy automatic rigs going and you can make crazy money. If they do that in the future, I would be so grateful because then I could buy so many decorations. I would probably honestly decorate the whole world. The biggest problem to deal with, and it really isn't even that hard to counter, it's pretty easy, is just if you're just skipping days quick just to check the market, just remember you're not feeding the slime, so they will become kind of feral and they will just start tearing everything apart if you're not careful. So just try and get back to your home and sleep because it's a load screen and that won't let them become feral and just start attacking everything. So if you're not feeding them, be quick about your actions and then go right back to bed, or obviously just feed them. So as you can see, now I hit $1 million and I was so excited for it. I don't even know how long it took me. It took me hours and hours and hours, multiple days. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get rid of these saber twin slimes. Pretty ethical way, I'd think so. They're just gonna go on vacation and they will make room for my old slimes so they can come back. Anyway, the next part I thought was gonna be a breeze. I was like, oh my gosh, I got $1 million in the game right now. I'm on top of the world. This is gonna be sick. I'm probably more than halfway done with the video, right? You'd be wrong. Just because I grinded wanted the $1 million and it took me forever. I was blinded by it. It was not even close to being halfway done. It took so much longer to get rid of the $1 million than it did to get the $1 million. And like I said earlier, that's because the Cuckoo Mart, you can only buy a certain amount of items, and you'll see it. You can only buy a certain amount of items every day, and once they're out, they're out. So you just got to sleep to the next day and then buy more. And you could actually do this faster. I'm imagining you could put a teleporter right at the front doorstep of your house, and you could just teleport right to the Cuckoo Mart and then right back, even though it's only like, I don't know, 80 feet, but it would save you that distance from running because you're doing it for a few hundred days. Then on top of that, you also have the messaging board where you can get random messages from different characters in the game, and occasionally they'll give you different environmental building things. So I was also collecting all those. Every time I got a new message, I'd collect whatever they sent me, trees, grass, whatever. And it was just a really long process. I was just sleeping to the morning and then skipping 6 hours because the Cuckoo Mart doesn't reset until midday. And then I would just run to the Cuckoo Mart, buy it. I would also buy the toys every time, and you'll see I started throwing all the toys that I got in this corner, and it just gets so crazy. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with them. Anyway, I just had a long grind to do it. That's all it was. It was really just running back and forth, but nothing too bad. I was getting in a little bit of trouble with the slimes just because I wasn't feeding them, and I was just running back and forth from the market to my house. So that little run back and forth may give some of your slimes a chance to break out, especially if they're more aggressive ones. So I would definitely recommend making sure they have a toy because that helps so much if they don't have food. But right now I'm just filling all the old slimes back in, making sure they have all their original food. All the original crops are growing. I got rid of the silo, put everything back on the farm. Just trying to get everything back to normal so I can just start buying everything and not worry about the Saber twin slimes anymore. Once I started the actual process and I just started buying everything, it was actually pretty cool to see all the items get cycled through the shop. I did wish that the Aurora items got cycled through more just because I need a ton of them for the cave, but who says I won't do this again in the future? I'm just gonna do it way more efficiently and a lot more preparation. I will definitely have teleporters if I did it again. It's just a long grind, that's all it is. Just a long grind. Pretty easy though. Once I'm done with all this grinding though, I am very excited about what's coming design wise. I have a few plans of what I want every area to look like, and you might be able to see in this video as I'm running back and forth, but kind of on the beach area of this main room, I continue the beach theme. Just have a lot of coral, seagrass, any other glowing stuff that goes underwater. Just trying to keep that area just themed. I'm just trying to have good themes everywhere. This main farm area, this main building is kind of a little all over the place, but there's different sub themes in each corner. But I kind of wanted to have the main walkway just kind of be a jumble of everything, especially at night. It looks so good. But for the future, I have some really big plans for a couple spaces of the farm because you know it branches out to the whole, you have like the whole beach side and like the tundra side, and you have like these ancient ruins on one side. So I have a lot of places I can decorate, and also all the pathways in between getting there I'm going to decorate. Basically anywhere I can design something, there's going to be something placed there. Every square inch I want to just get completely covered. It may not be the best business decision money wise, but hey, I got $1 million to spend and I'm going to do it right now, and I might have to do it again in the future, but I'm okay with that because again, the building in this game I really do think is great. The only issue with it is that a lot of the items, the collision on them isn't perfect, and for example, the trees at my front door, I can't put any grass under them because I believe the hitbox is just stretching so low on the tree that it's not letting the grass place. And I have been working around it. You can definitely have some little workarounds, but in places like that where you can't really fit many things, it kind of sucks when all I can have is just a tree and no grass or any other decorations around it to try and support the tree and make it look better instead of just an empty tree. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. It gets a little problematic, especially in tight places that I wish I could, design more things, but it's really not a big problem. And then the other thing I do wish I did have was wall placements. It might get a little crazy. I don't know. I'm not a game dev, so I'm sure it could be a lot more difficult than I expect, but it would be so cool if I could place stuff on the wall. You could completely transform the entire farm. I mean, walls, ceilings, everything. You can make it a completely different building. That might be a little too ambitious for the game. I don't know if that would break it completely or not, but that's one of the very positives about this game for me is that it just runs so well. Even with all the items I just throw everywhere. It runs so well. I never drop frames almost ever, and I'm running on Epic everything, and I'm recording on Epic. It runs so well. It's such a smooth game. It blows me away. Anyway, we're kind of getting towards the end of the video here, and I'm gonna have this big reveal of all the toys that I've been storing out the front of the farm. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with them all, but I'm kind of happy that I bought them because I think it's kind of funny just to have a huge pit of toys. I don't even know. I'll figure out a use for them at some point, but it's just kind of funny seeing them all out there. And just to mention the performance again, I'm not dropping any frames while I'm standing near all these toys, which is kind of impressive to me, but that's besides the point. I'm just very happy that this is over with for now. It took me so long. Again, it just took me so long to do it, but now the hard part is over. Now I'm really excited about designing everything. Here in a second, I'm going to check how many items, the big reveal of how many items I actually got from $1 million. I didn't actually check at all this whole time until right at the end. It is just so nice seeing just hundreds of decorations finally, instead of, you know, you only have 5 ruby grass and then you got to go out into the world and find the right plorts, and maybe you got to find honey or diamonds or, you know, just any of the resources, and then you have to spend it on like 2 decorations. It's just not a worthwhile grind. Maybe there is a path you could take to grind a lot of resources, and maybe it's faster, but I highly doubt it. This was probably the fastest way I could think of it. Obviously, you could even improve this strategy, but I did what I did and I got the $1 million, and that's all that matters. So now I'm just gonna have a great time designing everything. I'll probably make a lot of videos designing everywhere. I'll probably time-lapse the whole thing so you can see everything I place. Just in general, I'll just kind of keep designing everything till it's fully done. I have a lot of pretty cool designs in my opinion, so I'm very excited to show them to you guys. In the future, you're gonna have to let me know if you want to see anything specific that I could build or make in the game. I have a few ideas of what I want to do after I'm done decorating everything. I definitely might expand on the idea I had earlier of decorating the rest of the world, because that would be so crazy. I would have to come up with a way bigger plan though to get a lot of money, because that would be, gosh, I don't even know how much that would cost to decorate the whole world. Well over 100 million, I think. I don't even know. Gosh, I can't even imagine how long it would take to buy all that. 100 million plus. Maybe I'll take that back. I don't know. We'll see in the future. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. Like I said, you know, keep on saying this whole time, I'm very excited to keep playing. I think there's a lot more potential in this game, so there's a lot of crazy things I think I can build. I just haven't tried yet, so we'll see. I think there's a few machines you can kind of make and get away with, so I'm very excited to do that. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my video. I will keep making content as much as possible. Hitting 200 subscribers in like a day after hitting 100 was kind of crazy, so please keep up the support. It means so much to me, and I just want to make this community where we can just, I don't know, talk about any games and nerd about anything. Doesn't just have to be games all the time, but for now, that's what I'm doing, and I will see you in the next video. My name is JGK, and have a good night.